Well, good morning. I'm going to try something new. It's going to be a little unusual, but we're going to play a blues in a major situation. It's going to work out beautiful. We're going to actually even be using some Barry Harris chords to complete the whole idea. So I'm going to start off, it's this blues in C, and we're going to start off with a C6 add 9. Let's change that to a C minor 6. C7. F7. Sharp 4 diminished. One chord again. 6-7. D7, G13, G7 sharp 5, 6 add 9 again, C6 add 9, G7 sharp 5, snuck in a flat 7, dominant 7 to go into the 6. Here's a D9. Let's do a D flat 9, substitute for the G. Back into the C6 add 9. I like that G7 sharp 5, we'll keep with it. Let's just do a little vamping on that C minus 6 to the C7. Back into 6 add 9. C minor 6, C9, and my F. A7 with a sharp 5, D7 with a sharp 9, G7, just straight out. There you go. So if you wanted to understand some of those voicings, so I was doing A and D on the C and G and C, so that was enough to become a C6 add 9 chord. So A was the 6, D was the 9, and then I had 5 and 1 over here. Right? And then I kept the A, and then I did E flat G C, and that turned me into a C minor 6. And then I did C9, and I did my voicing with 7th fret on 5th string, giving me E, and my B flat on the A fret on the 4th string, tucking in my 7th fret on the 3rd string, that's my D, so that was my 9. The B flat was my flat 7, and here's my 5. So I have myself a rootless voicing here. There's no C in sight, unless I did that. Straight out F7. I took the F sharp diminished down to here because it's a little better voicing, I think. I don't know, it depends on where you're going with it afterwards, as to how to treat that. was another little trick I did too. I did the C7, B flat 7 to A7. That's a nice walk. And then you can hit into an E flat 7 triad, and then go into the D7. You could switch that out to an A flat 7 going into the G7, D flat 7 into the C. It sounds great with that 6 add 9. And that's kind of old school blues. They are actually even early jazz when they were starting, separating from blues and getting into jazz. It was really, they were just playing with the voicings, getting that more sophisticated chord harmony structure, but maintaining the blues progression patterns and things like that. 1-6-2-5, very popular. I think I was even going to do one, hey, let's do it. We're here. So 1-6-2-5, it's a beautiful little thing. Say I was in C and I'm just doing it as it sits. So if I use the diatonic chords, then that would be a 1 major to a 6 minor to a D minor to a G7, right? So you get all your doo-wop business, right? All that early 50s stuff emulates from that. But let's do something interesting with it now. Let's change up the chord qualities and see what happens, because that's where it really becomes interesting. So let's say I took the C major and turned it into a C major 7. Right? Okay, so we already got some jazz just by doing that. And let's go to an A7. Right? So I'm going to use that A9 chord there. I got the C sharp and G and the B and the E. Rootless voicing again, right? Now let's, that A7, it's still a 6 chord, right? But we've changed quality to a dominant chord. And it's a secondary dominant to the D minor. And every single diatonic chord in this major scale, such as D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B minor, 7 flat 5 even, they all can have their secondary dominants, which is, so in other words, whatever their 5 dominant 7th chord is, you can play that as a passing chord or a connecting chord to go to it. So that's what I did with this particular progression. I turned it into a 1 major 7 to a 6 dominant 7th. I'll stick with the D minor, but I'm going to make it a D minor 9, which is a lot slicker sounding, and then the G13. So you can see how all of a sudden this old doo-wop, so you can change. That's all you have to do is just change the quality of the chords, and you can come up with some amazing things. I stayed pretty stock on the dominant 7th, on both of them. 9ths and 13ths is no big deal. When we start getting into the altered doms, them things really start getting real cool. Let's say I do this C major 7 this way, and then I do A7 sharp 5 sharp 9. Down into D minor, just straight out D minor this time. There's that G7 sharp 5. So 1625 can take you a long ways. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell, ring the bell, please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope I put some music under your fingertips. Thanks.